happened at night, which suggests that these disciples did not set out in a storm, nor did they expect a storm, and yet the Bible says that a storm came anyhow. And my friends, when we think about it, that's the way storms always descend in our life. Things can be fine one moment, but the very next moment the bomb falls out. One minute you can be enjoying fair weather. The next minute you find yourself in the midst of a violent storm. And somebody can testify. Sometimes just one phone call, one 24-hour period of time, one doctor visit, one tick of the clock, and there you are in the storm of your life. Christian life. Somebody that knew me tonight. And I suggest that sudden storms shouldn't surprise us. The truth is the Bible clearly states that storms will blow our way. The word says in Job 14:1, man that is born of a woman is of a few days, and those days are full of trouble. The word says in St. John 16:33, in this world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. The text talks about the suddenness of the storm, but then it talks about the severity of the storm. The B clause of verse 37 says, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. The text says, these seasoned fishermen were frightened by the severity of this storm. The ship is rocking and reeling. The ship is full of water. The disciples are afraid that it's about to sink. This was a violent storm. To make matters worse, the storm happened during the nighttime. These disciples could not see where they were, nor could they see how close they were to the shore. The only thing that they knew is that they were in terrible danger, and now they are fearing for their life. I'm trying to paint this picture. My friends, in this life, when this storm comes upon us, they're often severe. Sometimes they cause anguish and great pain. There are times when a storm of suffering blows in our life, and the reality is it devastates us with heartache, heartbreak, and turmoil. One problem seems to rise after another problem, and they just bury us under a blizzard of affliction. Yet there is a mother folk who are facing a storm of sorrow. Maybe somebody that you love and cherish deeply has been silenced by the sleep that knows no way, and their death has left you grief-stricken and shaken by your loss. My friends, all of us ought to know by now, sorrow has a way of touching all of our lives. This episode teaches us that Jesus was in the boat with his disciples, and yet they are still afflicted by a storm of sorrow. Y'all missed that. Jesus is in the boat with his boys, but they are still afflicted by a storm of sorrow in this life. Storms will come, and storms always seem to bring with them fear, anxiety, and pain. But I got some good news. There is no storm on planet Earth that heaven cannot heal. Well, the text talks about the suddenness of the storm. It talks about the severity of the storm. And then it talks about the source of the storm. The question that ought to be raised tonight is, where did this storm come from? I submit, perhaps this storm was just a natural occurrence. The fact is, we've already discussed that the Sea of Galilee was susceptible to storms of this nature. However, when we look at this particular storm, we know that it came during the night, and that was extremely rare. Therefore, we can surmise that it's very possible that God sent this storm for the sole purpose of teaching these hard-headed disciples how to lean and depend on Jesus. It's amazing that in verse 39, when Jesus calmed this storm, he simply said, "Peace, be still." Now listen, peace, be still, is the same word that's translated as "hold thy peace." The phrase literally means to be muzzled. It carries the idea of putting a muzzle on a wild animal. And it's no secret that so often in life, the storms that blow our way come from various sources. Listen, we might not admit it, but sometimes the storms that come in our life, when you think about it, they are our own fault. There are times that we do some stuff that gets us in trouble, and we end up having to pay the price. Again, sometimes God sends storms in our life because God wants to draw us closer to Him. There are those times that we just haphazardly worship God. We reluctantly praise God's goodness, and we half-heartedly work on God's program. Therefore, God sometimes has to release a storm in our direction to teach us to trust and obey, because there is no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. But sometimes the devil is allowed, or the devil is permitted to send a storm. Somebody that knew me tonight, you need to understand that the devil is a deceiver. The devil will whip up a storm in an effort to defeat you and drive you away from God. The devil will do everything in his power to destroy both you and your faith in God. My friends, we need to wake up and recognize that the devil is a real enemy. And the devil wants to defeat and destroy God's children, and therefore he will do whatever it takes to accomplish his purpose. All the things be under God. God is so gracious to us until God has limited and restricted the devil's ability to torment and torture us.